Hello, explorers. We're troubleshooting sound problems with Xalophone. Xalophone is a free digital musical instrument. Download link is in the description. Before we start, a safety message. Because we're working with sound, it's possible that once we fix the problem, the volume could go from zero to something very high, which could be dangerous. So please consider troubleshooting without headphones, using the device speakers so that you don't hurt your ears. Xalophone can never go beyond the maximum volume settings for your device, but it can reach that maximum, so be careful. We'll start by opening the app. This is the play area. You should be able to touch anywhere within this central circle, and it should generate a tone. Depending on your device and settings, the volume may respond to the pressure you apply with your finger. Or so if it's too quiet, try pressing harder. Otherwise, the volume will be proportionate to the distance from the center of the circle. So try pressing in the center and sliding outwards. A good way to test the sound is to press at a point inside the circle on the lower half of the screen, one that is near the boundary outline of this central circle. Pressing into the screen firmly. Now, if you have a screen that is damaged, be careful to not press too firmly, only as much as you know the phone can take. If everything is working fine, that should generate a medium pitched tone with mid to high volume. Let's say you do that and you don't hear anything. First thing to check is that the device is set up to play sound. Maybe you've already tried this, but just in case, we're going to go through some of the device volume settings very quick. So make sure the volume is turned up. And if you're playing it out loud, make sure the device isn't set to silent mode. The location of that button will vary with your device. On the iPhone X, it's located on the left side of the device above the volume buttons, and you want to slide it so that it's pushed towards the front screen. Now that we've made sure that the device's sound is on, try testing the sound again. Now, if it's still not working, we're going to restart the app. On late model iPhones, you do this by swiping up from the bottom center of the screen like so. On iPhones with a home button, press the home button twice rapidly. You'll be presented with this gallery carousel view of open apps, and you can close one by simply tapping its rectangle and swiping up. Then swipe up from the bottom center of the screen again, or press the home button once to exit the view, and then open up the Xalophone again and test the sound. If that didn't fix it, the next thing to check is the gain level. Gain is the quality of the sound which the Xalophone gives you control over. To access it, press the purple circle at the bottom left of the screen. Which will expand the settings control wheel. The gain level is controlled by touching the topmost wedge and sliding up or down to raise or lower the level. Higher gain translates to higher volume. So if the gain was at a low level, try setting it to a higher one, around 0.7 or 0.8, and test again. A quick aside, you may wonder why there is a separate setting in the app for something so similar to volume. It's because the gain is applied before any xylophonic filter effects. The details of why that is different are a bit technical, so I'll leave that for another video. For our troubleshooting purposes, we can treat it like another volume control. Just know that the gain combined with the device volume level sets the overall loudness of Xalophone. Now we've ensured our device is set to play audio, and the app we've set the gain to a volume or to a value between 0.6 and 0.8. The next thing to try is to go into your phone settings and see that 3D touch is enabled. 3D touch is only available on devices that support it, which are iPhone models from the 6S to the 10S. I'll list the models that support it in the description for this video. If you don't have a supported model, you can skip this step of the troubleshooting. If you're unsure, just follow along and it will become clear whether or not it applies to you. Go into the Settings app and scroll up to show the search bar and search for the word touch. Look for the option 3D and haptic touch in the search results. If you don't see this option or an option like it, then likely your device does not support 3D touch, so you can skip this next part. If you see it, select that option. You'll be presented with a screen with a 3D and haptic touch submenu. Tap to expand that submenu and it will show a switch button for the 3D touch feature. Press it to switch it on if it's not already. It should become partially green with a circle to the right if it's on. If it was already on, leave it that way. But if your device has screen damage, it may be worthwhile to see if turning it off resolves your problem. But before you try that, try this next step, because it's better to have 3D touch enabled. Okay, back to Xalophone to see if that fixed the issue. So Xalophone detects that 3D touch is now enabled and asks us whether we want to try it. Say yes. Go 3D. So now the volume is proportional to how much I press, the pressure I use, instead of the location. If that didn't fix the sound, there's one last thing to check, and that's the preset configuration. Xylophonic configurations and presets are described in another video, but here I'll just guide you through accessing the part you need to troubleshoot sound problems. Expand the preset selection wheel by tapping the small white glow sphere at the middle bottom of the screen. Each red wedge represents a different preset. Turn the wheel by tapping a point outside of it that's also below the central circle to grab the wheel, then slide to rotate it in the desired direction. Now try selecting one or two presets and testing for sound. If selecting one of these presets results in sound being generated, then it was definitely a preset configuration issue. Here's how to fix a preset that isn't generating sound. Enter the controls for that preset by double tapping the preset wedge on the selector wheel. That is, tap it twice rapidly. This causes the preset selector wheel to be replaced by a configuration control wheel for that preset. We're looking for the 2D, 3D touch control. which is at the far left end of the wheel. Turn the effects control wheel clockwise until we reach the left end. The control looks like a hand with finger extended pressing a box or a stack of boxes. Tapping this button switches between 2D and 3D touch modes for this preset. When Xalophone is in 2D mode, represented by the hand in square icons looking three-dimensional, the volume generated by touch to the xalophonic surface is proportional to the distance from the center of the central circle. Silent at the center, loud towards the boundary of the circle. When in 3D touch mode, which I'll activate by tapping the button, and is represented by the hand and square looking flat, the volume is set by how much pressure you apply to the touch, regardless of its distance from the center of the circle. Switch between these two modes and test the sound appropriately. That's our sound troubleshooting options. If this didn't solve your problem, reach out to me and let me know what isn't working, or rather, let me know that it isn't working, that you've tried these things, and let me know what model number of your iPhone is or other smartphone and the operating system version. You can do that. You can find that by going to the Settings app, going to General, About, and these are the two things you need: software version and model name. So mine is the 14.7.1 software version and model name is iPhone 10. So reach out to me with those and I'll try to get it resolved for you so that you can use Xalophone. This is Xalophone.